You have a plan. The exact second the hero drops on the Nintendo eShop, you'll vomit cash at Daddy Sakurai and throw your powerful gamer energy into becoming the best hero you can be. But there's a problem with that dream, and it's not just the fact that it'll take you 10 hours to actually buy him, though that's a factor. The problem is that this plan begins on release. In reality, starting right now, you could be doing so much more to get ready for the introduction of these self-destructing sword swingers. Hi, I'm Waidu, militant DLC propagandist and professional Dragon Quest XV speedrunner, and today I'm here with a quick little video to tell you how to be a hardcore hero before Day 0. Fundamentals. Obviously, working on your fundamentals is important, but that word is a convenient package that describes a lot of things, kind of like how being a good person includes owning up to your mistakes, listening to others, and not stealing my shampoo when you're my college roommate. This is a very small selection of things that help make you a good person, but they're all concrete, meaningful examples that can give you a place to start. Likewise, there's no trick to instantly become a top player, but in this video, I'll give you some battle-tested strategies you can use to set yourself up for DLC-fueled success. Your ultimate goal should be to practice the skills that the hero requires. The hero is a sword character with projectiles and a meter mechanic. Playing Fox to prepare for the hero is like preparing for a job interview by perfecting your secret spaghetti recipe. It's a noble cause for sure, but at the end of the day, you end up with mouth-watering silky spaghetti and no job. You might have to get creative here when you don't know the hero's entire moveset, but you could, for example, play Link to practice using slow, powerful sword moves with a shield, Robin to practice disjoint and projectile zoning without escape tools, or Shulk to practice selecting things from a menu and cheating. It's also good to make sure you're consistent at universal tech, like V-reverses, wave bounces, pivot cancels, up specials out of shield, general movement, and so on. Try watching pro players of characters similar to the hero and see how they use these techniques. Make sure you practice them thoroughly and consistently until you don't make mistakes. Esam has a great video about single-player practice, which I'll link in the description. And you know you can trust him because he just did this. Yes! Next, let's talk about moves. As you know, there are slow moves, fast moves, big moves, and trash moves. The things you can do with a move are completely dependent on its properties, and there are a lot of them. But let's zoom out for a bit. When the hero releases, we want to figure out what his moves are good for and when to use them, and in order to do that, we compare them to ones that already exist. You don't have to get out there memorizing frames and crunching numbers, but you should get a feel for the different kinds of attacks. Is a move slow to start up with low end lag? You can use it for making reads without committing too hard. Does a move start up quickly with a big hitbox, but leave you wide open if it misses? Maybe use it to catch people off guard doing something aggressive. There are countless little rules and shortcuts like these to beat into your muscle memory. So, when we see attacks we've never seen before, such as on a shiny new DLC fighter, we want to master drawing on past experience with the game to think about how we can shove them into our opponent's faces. Remember, no move is perfect or the game wouldn't be very fun at all. Every move has its drawbacks, and while the best attacks in the game have less and sometimes make you want to curl up in a ball and cry, there will always be options to deal with them. Cloud's back air has a huge hitbox and very little lag when landed with, but it comes out slowly and he has to jump to use it, so you can whack him out of the air before it comes out. Of course, Cloud has ways to beat this in turn if the person playing him has brain cells and you have counterplay to that counterplay. If you want to get good at the hero as quickly as possible, you need to practice finding these answers for all different kinds of moves. And if you want to speed up this process without your head exploding, you need a plan. It's not easy to learn a new character. Your brain gets to work constantly finding solutions to a near endless amount of problems, all while you, its horrible tyrannical boss, demand it keep composed, react blisteringly fast, and stay up late doing unpaid overtime. That's why, after ensuring you're as prepared as possible by getting enough sleep and drinking actual water for once, you want to minimize the mental energy you have to spend after the character releases. To do this, come up with a concrete practice plan and stick to it. It's not glamorous, in fact it's likely among the least cool things you will ever do, but I'm not here to make your life awesome, I'm here to help you get good at the hero before he releases. Here's a rough practice outline to start with. When you get your hands on the hero, go to training mode and look at each move one by one. Think about what a move feels good at, what it feels bad at, and when you might use it. Moves that are quicker, safer, and bigger will be your best bets to use in neutral. Pick these moves and practice running and jumping around while using them in different ways against a training dummy or a CPU. Make a list of practice drills and perform them. Work on developing the muscle memory for landing with each aerial at different timings, selecting spells, and so on. You want your hands to listen to your brain as well as possible. If Leonardo da Vinci had the Mona Lisa planned out perfectly in his head, but his hands ended up flubbing a kill confirm to lose the set, even he wouldn't have gotten on the painter power rankings no matter how much he complained. Next, go online, try the hero out, and try not to worry about winning or losing. I mean it. Even if they send a "that was rough," even if they drop a bye-bye on you and then leave, which is basically the nuclear button of quick play psychological warfare. Getting tilted will only make you teach yourself bad habits, so take a break if you feel it happening. Instead, focus on figuring out ways to use your moves to beat what your opponent is doing. Periodically go back into training mode, practice your drills, and think of new strategies. After you've practiced neutral like this for a while, repeat this process for every part of the game. Juggling, ledge trapping, edge guarding, and your own disadvantage, among unique things like MP management and not accidentally detonating. Now, what I'm about to say next is important, so listen carefully. You will not be able to come up with answers to everything on the fly, no matter how many Dragon Quest games you played. Even if you played the spin-offs, life isn't fair. So you have to save your replays and watch them to figure this stuff out. It'll start off difficult, and I get it. Nobody likes to watch themselves get removed from existence by a Wi-Fi Yoshi, but the more you watch your losses, the better you will get at finding counterplay and reading habits both after games and during them. Also, I really hate Yoshi. That's not even a practice tip, I just really hate him. Finally, it's important to recognize that you're not expected to invent an entire game plan completely on your own. When the hero releases, everyone's going to be playing him and trying to figure out his bag of tricks. When you see another the hero, pay attention and try to see if he does anything interesting you can steal for yourself. Make sure you constantly watch footage of top players using the hero, whether on their streams or after a couple of days in tournament. Comparing your answers to theirs is a great way to understand what you need to work on and how these players think. The best players can be intimidating to watch, but they make almost every decision for a reason, and there's nothing stopping you from shamelessly copying that reason. So that's just about all I've got time for right now, because the hero is on the horizon, and I desperately need to resume cheating with Shulk. Of course, this was a very basic look at all the ideas presented. I'll definitely revisit them with more structured videos in the future, hopefully even concerning the hero specifically, if he doesn't suck. And he won't suck, because if he does, I'm suing Nintendo for my $5.99 back plus emotional damages worth several $1 trillion. I'm paying good money to get carried, Nintendo. My name is Waidu, I am going to kamikaze every stock, and I will not be stopped.